Photographs of world leaders in their final days or moments often become historical artifacts offering a poignant glimpse into their last experiences before death. These images capture their final appearances, providing a haunting reminder of their impending fates. 1. Adolf Hitler, 1945. This photograph shows Adolf Hitler accompanied by Julius Schaub inspecting the remains of the Reich Chancellery on April 28, 1945. 2 days later, on April 30, 1945, Hitler committed suicide in his bunker in Berlin as Allied forces closed in on the city. This image symbolizes the end of the Third Reich and Hitler's recognition of his imminent defeat. 2. Abraham Lincoln, 1865. Abraham Lincoln sat for a photograph on April 10, 1865, just days after the end of the American Civil War. 4 days later, on April 14th, he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth while attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. This image captures Lincoln in a moment of calm before the shocking act that would change the course of American history. 3. John F. Kennedy, 1963. This photo shows President John F. Kennedy moments before his assassination in Dallas on November 22, 1963. As Kennedy rode in a motorcade through Dealey Plaza, he was fatally shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, who was later arrested and charged. Oswald maintained his innocence until he was killed by Jack Ruby 2 days later. The image of Kennedy in the motorcade remains one of the most enduring and tragic symbols of his presidency. 4. Vladimir Lenin, 1923. The last photo taken of former Soviet Union leader Vladimir Lenin shows him in a wheelchair after suffering 3 strokes over 2 years. By this time, Lenin was paralyzed and mute, a stark contrast to his former vigorous leadership. He died on January 21, 1924. This image reflects his physical decline and the toll of his intense political life. 5. Idi Amin, 2003. Deposed Ugandan dictator Idi Amin was photographed on his deathbed in August 2003. Overthrown in 1979, Amin spent most of his life in exile in Saudi Arabia. His regime was marked by brutal repression and mass killings, with estimates of the death toll ranging from 100,000 to 500,000. This final image of Amin highlights the end of a life marked by violence and controversy. 6. Fidel Castro, 2016. One of the last known photographs of former Cuban President Fidel Castro was taken shortly before his passing in 2016 at the age of 90. Castro, who had been a dominant figure in Cuban politics for over 5 decades, appears frail and aged, marking the end of an era for Cuba. 7. Mao Zedong, 1976. One of the final public images of Chinese Communist leader Mao Zedong was taken on May 27, 1976. Mao passed away later that year on September 9th. This photograph shows him visibly weakened, reflecting the decline of the man who had a profound impact on China's history. 8. Lech Kaczynski, 2010. One of the final photos of Lech Kaczynski, the president of Poland, was taken a few hours before his plane crashed in Smolensk, Russia in 2010. The crash killed 96 people, including many of Poland's top military and civilian leaders. This image serves as a tragic reminder of the devastating loss for Poland. 9. Franklin D. Roosevelt, 1945. On April 11, 1945, this photo of U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt was captured. The next day, April 12th, Roosevelt suffered a cerebral hemorrhage and passed away. This image shows him in the final moments of his life, leading the nation through World War II. 10. Ulysses S. Grant, 1885. The final photo of Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th U.S. president, shows him reading a newspaper at his home in New York just 4 days before he passed away from throat cancer on July 23, 1885. This image captures the last moments of a man who played a pivotal role in American history. 11. William McKinley, 1901. The last photo of former U.S. President William McKinley was taken on September 6, 1901, 8 days before his assassination. McKinley was shot by anarchist Leon Czolgosz while attending the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York. He succumbed to his injuries on September 14th. The image shows McKinley moments before the fateful encounter. 12. Augusto Pinochet, 2006. The final photo of Chilean dictator Augusto Pinochet was captured during his last public appearance. He died on December 10, 2006, at the age of 91. Pinochet's rule was marked by widespread human rights abuses, and this last image marks the end of a controversial and divisive figure. 13. Kosy Calo, 1940. President Kosy Calo of Finland was last photographed on December 19, 1940, at Helsinki Central Railway Station. Moments after this picture was taken, he collapsed and died from a heart attack. This photo captures the final moments of a leader who served during a tumultuous time for Finland. 14. Gamal Abdel Nasser, 1970. Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser is seen in his last photograph taken at the Arab League Summit on September 27, 1970, just one day before he died from a heart. Harold Holt, 1967. The last known photograph of Australian leader Harold Holt was taken before his mysterious disappearance. On December 17, 1967, Holt vanished while swimming in the sea in Victoria and was never found. This photograph remains a haunting reminder of his unexplained vanishing. These final photos offer a poignant glimpse into the last moments of influential figures, capturing the fragility and inevitability of death regardless of power or status.